It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it comes your way next.
Once again, we gotta get
at the confluence of the three rivers, the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela, we are here at Pittsburgh's.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. First play and a first throw for Rodgers.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that falls incomplete.
2nd and 10. On the run, it's Warren. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now Rodgers.
This one deep for Wilson.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was Darnell Savage that time who was able to knock it away.
That sun's going to be a factor all game long. I'm not sure it made a difference on that one, but it's something to think about on all deep throws during this time of year.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession.
They're led by the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hunter. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. ETN on the toss right.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
From the shotgun, Lawrence working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They're going to empty the backfield here, so you know this ball's likely to come out quick. They let the 4 outside receivers run deeper routes and then let the tight end just make a beeline across the formation. He's able to make the catch and turn it into good yardage and a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Lawrence will throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on a sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville.
The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a 2nd opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Throwing now is Rodgers. That's complete to DK Metcalf. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 2.
They'll run it. Warren. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. On first down, Warren. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 6.
Throwing is Rodgers. He'll find Metcalf. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. On play action, it's Rodgers. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
They'll start on the ground. Etienne
looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now ETN to start the drive.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Now Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up second down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Here's Lawrence.
And this one caught by Hunter over the middle. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 41-yard line. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Now Lawrence to throw.
Going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. To the sideline and incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Lawrence.
The 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
The Jags with a football to begin the second quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from evening this one up. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the Steelers set to take the field. And last time they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Over the middle, complete. That's Warren. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a play fake. Rodgers. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
They run. It's Johnson. And he will have the 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Well-executed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, I know this will surprise you, I've actually done a little bit of reading lately, and all the analytics say that you should go for it more on 4th down. I think someone has referred back to their analytics coach. Maybe he's got a pipeline into the booth because that was a really good play call.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown.
Pat Freiermuth
From 17 yards out, and the Steelers have taken the lead.
Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end in those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And now out come the Jags.
After that last score we just saw, now 14-7. So a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Open man, that's Munt, the tight end.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here. And they get good yardage that time and a 1st down.
On the counter, ETN.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Alex Highsmith there on the tackle.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there.
They go play action now. Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down, and that's what he just did.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
ETN up the middle.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick here is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Balled at the 26, 2nd and 7.
Here's Rodgers.
Got his man, it's Warren.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They toss it to Warren.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So naturally they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yardage, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They fake the give. Now Rodgers.
Now wasting time going right back to DK Metcalf.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Rodgers now to throw. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this.
Mike Tomlin has reached for that red challenge flag, and he'll throw it out there. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Warren, they'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Jalen Warren.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers are able to widen their advantage. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Boswell for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10.
Lawrence will throw. A short throw there to Strange.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's Lawrence to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Man open left side is Brown. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
It's a nice completion, and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line.
The Steelers offense and DK Metcalf getting ready to go back to work. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Warren. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain an 11-point spread.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Operating from the gun. Lawrence throwing the out route and complete. It's Hunter. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Lawrence working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They go play action with Lawrence.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence.
He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
We got an excellent first half from the former MVP, Aaron Rodgers. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here's Lawrence.
This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here's a give to Bigsby.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Hunter now will go in motion left.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Now Lawrence to throw.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Now run straight ahead with Warren.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Rodgers going to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
At their 35-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and a yard. play action. It's Lawrence.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
They'll run with ETN.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. There's the stiff arm. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on fourth down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Rodgers to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room.
So here's a 3rd and 14.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the pressure gets to him again.
Trayvon Walker able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Thomas, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now Lawrence. Screenplay, here's Etienne. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Steelers.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
A handoff for Warren.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Now a run with Warren.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35.
85 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On the give, it's Warren. He'll get this to about the 38.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Here's Warren. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 22. Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Straight ahead, Etienne. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth.
Now Lawrence.
And his throw here's incomplete.
De'Ami Brown, the intended receiver.
And it's third down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Lawrence.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
All around great play by Devin Lloyd, using his athleticism to get to the backfield and his strength to stop him for a loss. So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
And the Steelers on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd down and 12. Rodgers now to throw.
Got his man, it's Warren.
And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
The Jaguars offense and Trevor Lawrence getting set for this next drive. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hunter. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Here's a give to Etienne.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs. Keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Lawrence will throw.
Got a man. It's Brown.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 43.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And Thomas has it. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 2nd down.
Back to the ground with Etienne.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A pickup of 5 that time and a first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
He completes it to Hunter. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
From the 20, here's 2nd down and 2. Etienne on the toss right.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive. And normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. He finds his man complete. It's Hunter. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And this one is right through. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The home team's offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Warren. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Here's Rodgers. That is caught. It's a room to maneuver. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. He was brought down by Foyesade Oluwakin. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
He finds his man complete. It's Warren. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Jaguars offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a two-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. And a good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Here's Lawrence. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunter. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He's got Brown on the out route complete. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Lawrence to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And this one caught by Hunter over the middle. And they'll get him down 2 yards shy after a pickup of 8. 4th and 2.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
And it's caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Brian Thomas
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jags have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he returns this to the 22. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
102 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
They'll run it. Warren.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Rodgers to throw. And that will be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence. Oh, and that is incomplete.
These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Here comes 2nd down. Here's Lawrence.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the 1st down. That's what's vital to them.
Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10. Lawrence. And that's complete to Brown.
And he will not get what he needed as he stopped short of the 1st down at around the 22.
They got the completion. Now, they probably had 2 plays called in the huddle, so they've got to get to the line of scrimmage, get set, and run their 4th down play.
This one, an absolute must. It's 4th and 4. Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
ETN bringing in another one. They'll come up now on second down. Throwing now, Lawrence.
And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here.
Back to throw.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr.
And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.